Cancer, welcome to your August 2017 love reading. It's Raina here. So as you can see, I have laid out the cards because I wanted to start over again. Easier than editing sometimes. I hadn't gotten very far in the reading at all. I just laid out the cards before I decided to start over again. What was I going to say before? Well, I don't think there's anything I was saying that I need to say now. The heart of the matter in this particular reading is represented by the Five of Cups. So this is a card of grieving over the loss of something. In this case, it would be the loss of a relationship that obviously you treasured, or you wouldn't be grieving it. You'd be celebrating. And, you know, occasionally this may be about some other matter, maybe the loss of another relationship in your life that has affected your relationship. But I have the feeling that this is directly connected to some romantic relationship, because we have in the past position the card that represents bondage, the Eight of Swords. As you can see, the person is blindfolded and they are totally, it's like they feel like they can't move. They're trapped in that situation. But the swords represent thought, and the person who is blindfolded is likely not willing to see the truth about their situation. So they may be in denial about something as well. Perhaps you are putting something on somebody else that is also true about you. And yet in some cases you may have been, let's say you were married to somebody who was abusive, maybe not physically, but maybe verbally. And maybe you had children together and you felt like you were stuck in that position. But because the focus card is the Five of Cups, that relationship is over with. And you finally had enough and you left, but you're still sad about it. Or perhaps the other person was the one who actually took the action. Maybe it wasn't even you. Maybe you were unhappy, but they were the one who left. That does happen. It's very unusual. I mean, from my standpoint, but it does seem to happen that way. The situation that may be on tap for right now or in the near future is the Two of Cups. So this could be about you reuniting with that person. It can also be about forgiveness in some cases, where you feel like you understand more. Perhaps the initial shock was too much, and now you're kind of getting over it. But for some of you, you may be getting back together. We have a couple of cards that suggest harmony within a relationship. And this is the higher message. And what this card tells me is that this is a card of intimacy. And of course, it's depicting nudity, because this is about burying your soul. You know, really showing who you are. And I have found, okay, I can just tell. I'm already anticipating getting thumbs down. Sometimes I laugh. Sometimes I shake my head when I get thumbs down. But sometimes I laugh too, because I know how I am, and I know how opinionated I am. And I know that I'm not one of those people that I'm just so easy to, you know, everybody just, I'm not that agreeable, where people just like everything that comes out of my mouth. But I do believe that some Cancer people, particularly, but I'd also include Scorpios, Pisces, you know, they tend to be like the Page of Cups. They tend to be more innocent and guileless. But I find that sometimes people with a sun in Cancer or prominent Cancer tend to be rather tight-lipped, or kind of, they don't necessarily share their emotions, even though they're water signs. Their private feelings. Sometimes you may hide your true feelings because you're afraid somebody will take advantage of you, use that as leverage against you. Or maybe you're just so sensitive that you don't want to risk anybody, criticizing you for feeling a certain way. Well, the double-edged sword of that is that then the other person really doesn't get to know you. And it's almost like the relationship stays on a superficial level. This can happen to married couples, where they're playing the role of husband and wife, man and woman, father and mother, if they're parents. And they don't really have that intimacy beyond the sexual intimacy, the emotional intimacy and the emotional trust that the other person will not exploit them for being vulnerable. And that's like a biggie, for some people, because they have experienced that where people betrayed them. The other thing that the Lover's card can represent is a choice that needs to be made. We have the duality in the Two of Cups, so there could be two parties or a choice. That could be a choice card as well. And the other thing too, because I'm getting this and this, the Five of Swords and the Eight of Cups, or the Seven of Cups, there could be some kind of deception happening. And so for some of you, and this may involve a Gemini actually, because the Lovers connects to Gemini and the Swords is, that connects to air signs like Gemini. This Gemini person it's possible this person may be problematic in your life. But you may love this person for whatever reason, and they may consistently let you down. You may consistently feel like that Five of Cups individual, where you are always disappointed in your relationship because of how they act. And if that's the case, Cancer, that's on you, because I would ask you, what do you want from a relationship? Do you want pain or do you want joy? Some of you, there may be someone else representing by that Two of Cups. Maybe you have a person that you... Oh, I see. So that Two of Cups might be that they're getting back together with their a former partner. I was thinking about you getting back with your former partner. It's possible. It's possible. You may be tempted. So it could work either way. I know I'm saying maybe, in these types of readings, I have to cover all the bases. But if they're getting back together with someone, you may be dejected about that. If you're getting back together with someone, you may be facing a choice whether or not to just leave your partner altogether. You may, if you have children, you may feel trapped, like the Eight of Swords. You may feel like it's your duty to be in this relationship. And regardless of whether or not you're happy. So I'm just going to keep going. The challenge card is represented by the Seven of Cups. That makes me think that some of you have an offer from maybe a former partner to... Well, okay, it could be two things with that Two of Cups. It could either be you leave a partner who, is disappointing you consistently. And they're like, baby, I'm changed, blah, 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 let's get married, or let's get back together. Or you could be getting some kind of offer from a former lover of yours. And this card is saying, be careful what you wish for, or what you choose, because there may be, all that glitters isn't gold. Maybe somebody is presenting themselves as your, knight in shining armor, and they really are one of these, like that snake or that, whatever that thing is, pterodactyl. But whatever it is, it's not very pretty. So don't allow grief to kind of mess up your head and get you to make some crazy choice based on your feeling of upset. The advice, or what's coming in, is represented by the Five of Swords. This is a card that I do associate with Gemini, even though I don't know if it's officially connected with it, but definitely swords energy, and it could be slander, it could be deception, cheating. Perhaps you will finally take the blinders off, that card right above the Five of Swords, the Eight of Swords, and you will see that what was holding you back was your denial, that you can move forward in your life. You don't have to be stuck in a state of grief, and you don't have to tolerate a relationship that is just not as it should be. You deserve the best, and yeah, you might find that it's like, whether or not, that Two of Cups indicates that you have an offer for reuniting with a past lover or not, or if it's just representing the choice of staying in your current relationship, or accepting the apology of the person that disappointed you. That Five of Swords is all about understanding that these people can misrepresent themselves. And you can recover from disappointment without forfeiting your life. You don't have to have a partner in order to be okay. You can be alone for a while if that's the best option for you and the best idea for you. Because this is a very common scenario where somebody, let's say they're married and their partner cheats on them, and so they are separated, and their former lover hears about that and says, hey, I've never stopped loving you, let's get back together. And just because they are without a partner, they just jump right back into something like that, even though they know that they were having problems with that person as well, and that there's no guarantee that that person has changed. That people do things like that because they feel like panic-stricken if they don't have a partner. And that is something that has to change with certain people, or else they will just go from one negative relationship to the next. And if they're dragging children with them, that's even worse. So it's understandable why people want to be loved, to feel that sense of love, but it has to come from the self, because when you depend on it from the outer world, you're at somebody else's mercy. And it's an inside job too, that's the other thing. But the outcome is a very light card. Some of these cards aren't so light. This is the Three of Cups. This is about celebrating with friends, socializing, going out. Perhaps you've not done that for a while. Perhaps you've been so caught up in a toxic romantic relationship that you've blown off your friends, because that's another thing, blowing off your friends because you're in a new relationship, the lovers, and that becomes your top priority. Perhaps in the future you will make a resolution with yourself, if that is something that you tend to do, and say, I'm never going to stop engaging with my friends. I'm going to always have a night or once a week or once every few weeks where I go out with my friends and we catch up, because that way you're honoring your life without that romantic partner. That is not the center of your universe anymore, but that you also have other outlets. You don't isolate yourself. Sometimes a partner can try to isolate you when they are toxic, when they are controlling. So it's very important to have that lifeline. These people may inspire you. They may have your back, and they can comfort you, and you may need that. But the best thing is they may lift your spirits. And in that happy vibration, if you are single, at some point you may meet somebody that is much better suited for you, or to you. So Cancer, I hope you enjoyed this. And if you'd like a private reading, please click on the link below. Otherwise, have an awesome August. Bye.